Hi and welcome back to MS Excel 2013 tutorial. In this video we're going to be looking at working with basic formulas. Well, a formula is basically a set of instructions to MS Excel to tell it what to do. When we start working with formulas, you'll notice that we work with basic mathematical symbols. As you can see here, first of all, your plus sign, which is your addition, your subtraction, your negative sign, division, your forward slash, and then lastly your multiplication is not an X, it is an asterisk, as you can see there. Right, so let's have a look first of all at a basic mathematical addition. Normally we'd say 100 plus 121 plus 150 is equal to, and we then type in the answer. Well, this is not quite the way MX Excel works. Right, first of all, MX Excel works by starting the formula off with an equal sign. Once I've got the equal sign in place, the cell knows that I'm actually going to set up a formula for some type of calculation or action. Then I'll type in the number 100, plus sign is, as we said, for addition, 100, 100, and equals, it gives us our 300. So by just looking at the cell we can see, oh, hello, there's a value here of 300. But how did we get that value? Well, very simple. Click back on the cell, go up to the formula bar there, and you can see, voila, there's my formula, 100 plus 100 plus 100. Right, so that is addition. Next is subtraction. Equals to, we got a number, 150, subtract 100, and enter. So there you can see we've now got our answer. Division, 100, divide by 10. But why did I not get an answer there? Well, the reason for that is because I didn't put in a equal sign, and MS Excel now sees it as an expression. So let me do that again. I put in the equal sign, 100, divide by 10, and enter, and it gives me my value of 10. Multiplication, start with the equal sign, 100, asterisk or star, multiplied by 10, and there it gives us our answer of 1000. Right, so there you can see we've created a couple of basic formulas by just using the addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. Now, when I've used these symbols, I've manually gone in, as you saw, and typed in each number into a single cell. Now, MS Excel does not like working like that if it wants you to add cells together. The next method that we're going to look at here is where we're actually going to use cells to help us. So I'm just going to move over to a blank sheet over here. So here we have our blank sheet, and in column B, starting at row 2, I want to add numbers together. So I go 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and I need to add my formula. So now what we have to understand first of all when we work with cells is we've got two types of cells. We've got input cells, which I'm pointing out now. That is where we'd input a value, and an output cell where we would get our value out. And in the output cell, that would contain our formula. So our formula would do whatever we've requested it to do, and in the output cell give us the outputted value. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So as you can see in the input cells 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I've put in 5 ones. Now I want to add this together. So what I do now is I put in the equal sign, select the row of cells, and notice how automatically now it's set up a range. Now the range, as you can see, is giving you B2 to B6. Now B2 to B6, as you can see, is column B starting with row 2 and ending in row 6. So what it's going to do together now, if I push enter, it's going to give me a value error. The reason being is because I haven't actually told it what to do. If we look at that formula again, we're saying let cell B7 be equal to B2 colon 2. But what about them? Well, because we haven't told anything. So let's have a look at this formula again. I'm just going to copy this to the right hand side. So let's have a look at the formula. We should have said let C7 equal C2 plus C3 plus C4 plus C5 plus C6 and enter, and there we now have our value. So you can see the difference between these two formulas. Right, so you can see now the difference between those two formulas. The first one is not actually a complete formula, that is why it's giving you a value error, and the second one is a proper formula showing the different cells that were selected and asked us to add the numbers together. The reason why we used cells instead of just typing in the values as C1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is because if we use a cell at any stage, we can go in and we can change the value of these cells. Let's have a look at this. So I'll take 1, now add in 100, and there we got it. It's 104. So as you can see, guys, cells are important to use. So when we add together, we're not actually adding the numbers together, we are adding the cell references together. What I've showed you now is basically using normal mathematical symbols to add together. Now there is another method of doing it where we can actually use a function called AutoSum. Now this AutoSum function sits on your Home tab under the Editing group. Now if I go to my Home ribbon, to the Editing group over there, you can see AutoSum. Watch what happens when I click on AutoSum. Automatically it selects the numbers that are going to be added together, sets up the actual formula to give us the result. Now let's have a look at that formula. First of all, we started off the formula with an equal sign. Then we went in and we added the sum function. Now the sum stands for sum total of, as in mathematics. So sum means we're going to add together the range E2 all the way through to E6 and get a outputted value. If I push enter now, voila, there we have our outputted value of 5. There's something that I'd like to show you here down at the bottom of the status bar. If you remember right at the beginning in one of the first videos, I mentioned that the status bar can show you certain values of cells that are selected together. Looking at the bottom here at the status bar, at this moment in time there are no values or anything shown here. Reason being is because if I right click on it, you can see what is going to be shown on the actual status bar. I've shown you this before, and if I select a group of numbers together, one of these functions will take place that are shown on the right hand side here with the check mark. Right, so let's have a look. I select the numbers that I want, and automatically underneath here on the status bar now showing me my average, my count, my minimum, my maximum, and my sum. Once I click away from here, it removes those values away. So those values are only temporary. So as you can see at the bottom of the status bar now, those values have gone. Reason being is because I've deselected the cells. Right, we've come to the end of this video. What we've seen in this last video is we've used the different mathematical symbols to add numbers together. We do the same if we use the subtraction, we can subtract. If we use the division, we can divide. And if we use the multiplication, I can go in and multiply numbers together. I've shown you how to start the formula by using the equal sign, and we've shown you how to go in and add numbers together, and we have also gone in and showed you the auto sum. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.